What's up, everyone? Welcome to the Bold Take. It's me, Solly, joined by the Dillical and the Capical. What's up, fellas? How was the first home game of the year for you guys?
That's factual. Sorry, I just wanted to keep the rhyming going.
Oh, my bad.
When you said capical, I thought of like a capicola. Capicola on the sub, man.
Capical.
Big facts. I just want to go on the record and say, let's go, JJs. Let's go.
I like how you got the tag. You still got the tag on that hat.
Yeah, it's official, bro. You know what I mean? Like, you can't do that. It's like what is that? Was it Off-White? Like
Off-White, with the tags on.
You got to keep the little tags on them just to let people know. Like,
that hat was produced in 1993 and it still has the fucking tag on it.
Big facts.
How ironic is it that Macklemore was like, I'm going to pop some tags. And now the whole trend is like, tags on.
Yeah.
Tags on.
Tags are on. Okay, that's what's up. I mean, you got to stunt when you can.
The Jags have never won a Super Bowl with as long as that tag has been on that hat. I think you need to pop that bad boy. Maybe that's it. Maybe that's the curse. That tag.
The Jags have never won a Super Bowl, period. And I don't think they ever will.
Because of that tag. That's what I'm saying.
You think it's down to the tag? You don't think it's down to the fact that
Shad Khan owns the team?
You might as well try it.
I mean, there's a lot of things we could try, bro. I don't know how much time we have tonight. Like, if we're making a list of things we could try. But you want me to rip it off right now? Right now on the pod?
I think you should. If you rip it off and then they start winning.
If you rip it off, just don't like ruin the tag, and we can retag it afterwards.
True.
Is this the? Well, I mean, I feel like for effect, you got to like rip it off, though, right? Like, but
yeah, you just got to make sure you hold it by the tag and the little plastic clip, so that when
your
you pull
hat,
it
so
rips
your
through
call.
the hat.
That's it, folks.
That was a significant little thump to that. I think the Jags are winning this week. What do y'all think?
Let's go, JJ's. Let's go.
Jags by 11.
Damn, that's a W right there, friends.
Damn, that's real. That just happened.
Whew.
That just happened. It's kind of I need a moment. You guys keep going with the pod.
All right, Dillard. How was the home opener since I could not be in attendance?
The home opener was like everything you would have imagined.
Like the worst time of your entire life?
Pretty much think about it this way, okay? So you wake up in the morning and you're excited because it's the home opener, and then it's pouring. So it's just torrential downpouring. You got people out here tweeting like, I don't know if I'm going to make it. I'll see y'all in the stadium. I'm made of sugar. I'm going to melt. Like, a bunch of bullshit lies.
There was a tailgate. There was a tent out at one of the tailgates that was like completely surrounded. Like it must have been dark in there.
I saw that for the first time today. That's wild.
What was going on in there? Like a rave or something?
I have no idea. It looks cool. It must be like the anti-wetness rain tent protection.
There was like
tent.
5 people in there just raving.
Yeah, like hotboxing it, bro.
Yeah,
like
I guess I was missing out.
Yeah,
that's where Dillard was. Dillard wasn't really at the real tailgate. He was in there hotboxing.
But anyway, we get to the tailgate, and then it's cool. It's the first time you've seen half of these people in like over a year, which was super dope. And then you got all your pals from out of town who rolled in, which is always super dope. And then it just got to like, for me, there were a lot of people there, so I left earlier.
Celebrity status? Because your celebrity status, there were just too many people coming up to you?
Yeah, that, and I had to go to the Touchdown Club to get my chicken tenders before I went in the game.
Are they better in the Touchdown Club?
Dude, they're fire and they're cheap. It's the same place I went to last year.
He's talking about the spot on the way, not like inside the stadium.
Got you.
Yeah, I was like, what you talking about? You know what I'm talking about?
You went into the club and got
so no, me and JB went there. I got chicken tenders. JB got cheeseburger.
Did they give us worst chicken tenders out in the fucking general?
Listen, bro, he didn't mean like the club.
The club
he
seats.
The club.
I'm with you now.
Yeah. And anyway, the guy remembered me from last year, and he was like, "You want sweet barbecue, not tangy barbecue."
Damn.
And I was like, "My God, that's right." So pretty much I'll be there this week as well.
It was all downhill after that.
Yeah, if you guys want to make the trek with me, I'll probably leave about 11:30, just like last time.
I'm in.
Yeah. So
I also
Check
saw
that
the
out.
trend. I also saw the trend of people are going to start bringing like the weirdest shit they can in the gallon Ziploc bags. So I've been trying to formulate a plan for that.
I'm gonna bring coleslaw and just
I was
eat it with
thinking
my
about just
hands.
getting a whole coleslaw. I was thinking about just bringing a whole bag of Skittles and just passing Skittles out to everybody.
Dude, that's actually great too. What? Hey, you should try and hide something in Skittles that like won't get you in trouble, but just to see if it works.
Like a
So
fat
that like
blunt.
down the road we can just get weird.
If you bring in Skittles, Jackson will be sitting next to you. Like he will. And then here's the thing though. Then I'll have to bring a giant bag of Skittles to every game because he'll be like, Dad, Mr. Solly did it. Like I'll be like,
Bring
well,
Skittles
son,
every game, Dad. Don't you
well,
know?
son, if Mr. Solly jumped off a bridge, would you jump off a bridge too?
Yeah. So normally, while we're talking about Jackson, normally before every home game, Jackson and the Caps are in front of me, and I'm like, "All right, Jackson, what's the score going to be?" And I normally get a very positive Jaguars, very plus score, and for the first time I think maybe ever, Jackson was like, "I don't think we're going to win today." He didn't give me a score, but he just was like, "I don't think we're going to win today," and I was like,
He's learning.
I feel you, dude. I feel you. Yeah.
Soul is being crushed by the Jacksonville Jaguars. We know it well.
Yeah, I think part of the problem there is that he's 10, right? So he saw the excitement around draft time with Trevor, and he last year was probably the first year that he paid any kind of attention to college football. So he kind of knew who Trevor Lawrence was. Had a pretty good idea and understanding of sort of who he was and what that meant. And then he started watching a bunch of stuff about him on YouTube around the draft. And so I think he got fired up, and so him and I had a lot of conversations about it, and, about how significant it was, or, how we all hope it will be. And so I think he let his little heart and his little brain, have some excitement that he hasn't really had since 2017. And yeah, so it's equally as demoralizing.
He was super let down after week 1 too.
Yeah, but he didn't watch, to be fair, he didn't watch the game live. He just watched the highlights on YouTube. He went to a buddy of his had a birthday party. They're Brazilian, so they don't give a shit about our football. And so he went to that birthday party, and it looked, actually, I saw pictures while we were in Houston. I'm like, that I kind of wish I was there. Instead of, they were around the community pool, and they hired this guy who does Brazilian churrascar. I mean, it was just a freaking barbecue just with tons of meat. And I was like,
yeah.
That sounds way better than being in Houston. But anyway, so yeah, he caught he found out when he left what the score was, and then I don't think he was very enthused to go back and watch it or anything, but he watched the highlights, or the low lights, if you will.
He probably also was feeding off the energy of the tailgate, energy in the stadium of the day too.
Yeah, it was getting into the stadium after Dilly got his tenders. It was, man, I don't even know where to start with all this, because I feel like I've kind of been through the ebbs and flows over the last 20 years of our section and just within the stadium. Going from when times were really good and we thought things were kind of on the up and up in 06, 07, 08, 09, to just how it just died right after that. I mean, died. People stopped coming to games. We were surrounded by opposing fans. And then how we started to build it up, 4 or 5 years ago with Bold City in the section. And then 2017 had that, that excitement, and the excitement leading into 2018. Anyway, it's just, now I kind of feel like I'm back to 2011, 2012, where I walk in and that whole east side of the stadium over there is away fans, and it kind of bleeds into the north end zone where we are too. And it's just, if the play on the field isn't frustrating or demoralizing enough, that is it's a gut punch. It's a kick in the nuts. I don't, whatever euphemism, whatever term you want to use. And I don't, I used to like my attitude towards it 10 years ago when I first experienced it was defiance, right? Like wanting to crack on all the people I could, like I was going to win a war of wits with every single person that turned around and said something to me. And now I just feel like I don't have the energy, and it's a shitty feeling, to have so much invested, not just money. I mean, I'm not saying this is like a brag or, a flex or something stupid. Like I've been buying Jaguar tickets for so long. I genuinely don't even think about the money that like we pay for it. And then it's just, I don't even think about it.
Yeah.
Same.
So it's not the money invested, it's the time, it's the time and the energy. So to go from a great tailgate where, it's good vibes, it's good people, it's good community, right? I mean, it's just every year there's more and more people that come out there. There's more and more people that make it theirs, right? That don't just like pop up randomly, but are coming regularly and are investing their time and their emotions and their energy into the tailgate and what we have out there. So to go from that type of atmosphere into a stadium environment like that, it's just, I don't know, man. It's, I used to sit there and I used to stew in my seat. You can ask Melissa. Like I used to just sit there and I would get so angry with the city of Jacksonville and Jaguar fans and the lack of support, like back in, 2010, 2011. And I would say, what the fuck is wrong with this city? Like, this need to come out, right? This is our team. You come out, you support no matter what. And I think maybe the most demoralizing part of all of this is like, now I sit there and I'm not going to stop coming, but I also don't blame anybody who doesn't come. Yep. And that's such a 180 from how I was a decade ago. And I think
I was the exact same way.
Yeah.
I feel the same way now. Like, how can you blame somebody?
I can't. And that's right now, unfortunately for him and for all of us, because we live it, that's Shad Khan's legacy. It really, really is. He took something that was down and he's basically kept it down for a decade. And in some ways it's down worse. So it's, I'm sorry to start the pot off like this. I don't want to come across as like doomsday. I actually don't think, the sky is falling in from a support perspective or a team perspective. And I know we'll get into that momentarily, but it's just, I wanted to kind of illuminate on that because I was thinking about that and I was like, again, like I said, 10 years ago, I was defiant. I was pissed off. And now I'm like almost resolute to the fact of fuck.
It is what it is.
And I'll leave early if I got to leave early, I checked the box. I'm here. I've still only missed 2 games in the last 20 years or whatever the hell it is.
Yeah.
And I'm here and I did my fan duty.
There's something about the like refresh from a mindset perspective of like a new coach and a new quarterback that you think is going to be great. And I just expected, I didn't expect the stadium to be that empty for one. And I didn't expect it to be quite that overrun. Like on TV, it looked terrible. And I haven't obviously watched very many home games on TV in the past. And I think that it probably looks worse on TV than it does when you're in the stadium because you only see the east side. But it looked terrible on TV.
It looked pretty bad inside the stadium too. I don't know what to say. I don't think it's exclusive to us. I mean, I've seen
and part of it too.
I've seen Dallas. I've seen Dallas look like that when they've played Pittsburgh. You know what I mean?
Part of it too is that the stadiums are just emptier than normal. Period. Because even Houston was like half full.
You look at it. It's two. It's two teams that aren't very good and haven't been good the last couple of years. And, I mean, Houston for a litany of reasons. I don't blame people for not going, although they whooped our ass. That seemed like a pretty fun day for Texans fans when we were there.
Yeah.
No, I think, just kind of skipping over now to how the way the team has played hasn't helped that apathy or that frustration. And my frustration with it isn't so much that they're 0-2. It's just that they haven't looked very competent for long stretches of either game. I mean, and that's the part that I think frustrates me and a lot of other people. It's like, okay, yeah, look, we haven't won in, 380 days. Right? Like we haven't won an NFL football game. We're kind of used to this losing shit, but we sort of expected it to at least look a little better at this point. Because I think the Broncos are a better team than the Texans, but it's not like we were playing, the Rams or the Buccaneers.
No.
So,
Yeah, but I do think that the Broncos are ridiculous on defense between their edge rushers and their DBs. They're good.
yeah.
And talking about the attendance in the stadium, even if we don't win week 1, but we look competent, and then it doesn't rain all day on Sunday before the game, I think the stadium looks way different.
Yeah.
But like you said earlier, I mean, how can you blame anyone for not wanting to go? I thought Solly was so lucky he had the most legit excuse ever for not going to the game. He's out for COVID precautions.
He was on the COVID-19 list.
Yeah, which that's the best thing that could happen to someone, especially if they test, negative, like you ended up doing. You had the most legit reason not to go, and then you got to watch it on TV, and it looked probably better for you than it looked for us, even though you can't tell that Cam Robinson goofed and not James Robinson. But we'll save that for another day. We argued about that today for a clean 15 minutes. But anyway, I don't blame anyone for not wanting to go. But I'm kind of opposite of you, Cap. I thought it looked a whole lot better last week. I don't think the offensive play calling looked better, but I felt like we looked like an NFL team.
Yeah. I mean, I think it looked better. It certainly looked better than it did against Houston. And I think there are things that you can point out from the game specifically. The first drive was great. Trevor looked really, really comfortable. I think that we're getting some timely pressure every now and then on the defensive side. We can't seem to really cover anybody. But I think, that's a bit of a positive through 2 games. I think the offensive line played fantastic considering who they were going up against. So, I mean, hopefully that's a building block. Now they got a tough game because of the offense that they have to face this week. So it's not like, I'm not necessarily expecting them to build upon that and come out and play a close game or win necessarily. But I mean, that's what I said. I'm not like sky is completely falling. I think my frustration, and you alluded to it, is more with the coaching or my lack of trust in the coaching.
So for me though, with that lack of trust, I mean, I'm right there with you. As the game goes on, even early in the second quarter, you can see Trevor begins to press. He feels like, man, I really have to, make a big play happen because we're not doing anything on offense. We're not moving the ball all of a sudden. But if we take ourselves before we even get there, that first drive of the game, there's a whole lot of positive in it for me because 1, we scored. 2, the ball he threw was ridiculous. That was just gorgeous. As soon as he threw it, you knew it was a touchdown. And 3, the script is something that's planned throughout the week. We know that, right? Well, with the script, the Jaguars coaches looked at the Denver Broncos defense and they thought, if we do this and we do this and we do this and we execute, we're going to score. And they did that. So I think that's the first time where we've seen any kind of adjustment, any kind of positivity.
Any clue
from
from a coach that a
Yeah.
coach understands what's going on.
Right. So now that we went from looking completely, combustible, we can't even line up on offense, to like, all right, our script is good. Well, now this week, the Vikings moved the ball all over Arizona last week. It wasn't like their defense, pitched a shutout. They have good ends too. We all know about JJ Watt, even though he's a little bit past it. Chandler Jones is a very good football player. But now can they take that next step? They did the script. They looked really good on that first drive. Unfortunately, went to shit for the rest of the game. And maybe that's a problem if you can't adjust in game. But we'll see what happens now that we did look good on the first. Maybe we get a good first half and then things fall apart in the second half. But if I can see like something visual and something positive, I'm gonna take it right now because it is a new regime.
This is why I put that poll out on Monday. Did you think true or false week 2 looked better than week 1? Because it's where we've been as a franchise the past, as Cap outlined, where we've been the past decade has been in the doldrums. And then to start off a season like we did in Houston is like, you feel that all those feelings come back. But can you just show me some signs that maybe you're trying to climb out of that? And maybe as the quarterback gets better, you can climb out of that. So that's really all. Like, if you just adjust to the long-term view and try to think of it that way, that's really all you can kind of cling to at this point.
Yeah. Go ahead.
I was just gonna say the in-game play calling has to get better though. The receivers that we like so much coming into the season, they're not winning one-on-one. They're not matching up and winning straight up across the board. So because of that, it's fine. You got to scheme the ball into these playmakers' hands. If they can't win one-on-one, doesn't mean they can't get open.
And we just have no middle of the field players at all.
Well, and it's not true. We have Visca. We just don't use it.
He's just
not. What are you talking about, bro? We pitched the ball to him 47 yards behind that really cool misdirection play.
Yeah.
47 yards behind the line of scrimmage. No, I obviously I'm not calling to can any not AJ, but to like fire. I'm not calling to fire anybody or anything like that, but I've just been skeptical from the jump about the choices made on the coaching staff, primarily on the offensive side of the ball, because when you look at it from a holistic view, Urban comes in, he's supposed to be the ultimate CEO coach, and that's fine. I don't necessarily buy into the CEO coach in the NFL across the board, but that's a debate for another day. You look at Darrell Bevell, you look at Brian Schottenheimer, and we look at those two first. And I'm hereby renaming Darrell Bevell from now on until he either decides that he wants to give the best player on our offense the football in James Robinson, the current best player on our offense, the football, and actually involve him and actually try to take some pressure off of our rookie quarterback. And until he can put an offense on the field where he's scheming people open and he's helping this young offense, until that time, he is hereforth known as, on this podcast, Barrell Devell.
Barrell.
Yep.
Barrell Devell.
Barrell Devell. Barrell Devell.
The offensive coordinator.
The offensive coordinator, Barrell Devell. And I want to believe, fellas, that he will earn his name back. But I'm looking at his track record, and we legitimately hired a guy that Russell Wilson said, no, please get rid of him. Matt Stafford was with him, and everybody's talking about, he was with Matt Stafford, last year. And when he got to take over and Patricia left, things look good. And, okay, great. Yeah. So he was with Matt Stafford for what, 1 year? And now Matt Stafford goes to an actual offensive mind, like a guy who's a legit offensive guru, and he looks like fucking Johnny Unitas. And so I'm trying to figure out why, like, you have a quote unquote generational quarterback who has fallen into your lap, and you have your pick of people that you want to develop this person. I keep coming back to why Barrell Devell and Brian Schottenheimer. And it may be unfair to think that only through 2 games, and maybe I'll eat my words later on down the road, but I don't have a lot of confidence in them. And the fact that they can't just do something as simple as freaking give James Robinson the football does not bode well for Barrell getting his name back. I'm sorry. So anyway, check that off the list behind you there, Solly. We have announced that Barrell is hereby rebuked, and he now does not get his name, and he has to earn it back.
I will say though, going back to our week 2 is better than week 1. At least James Robinson had more carries than Carlos Hyde this week. We got that going for us.
Dude, he's got 22 touches in 2 games.
We started way like below the surface of the earth, and now we're just a little bit closer to the surface of the earth.
He's got 22 touches in 2 games.
Yeah, it's terrible.
It's fucking criminal. Yeah. Because if you want to stand in front of people during the off season, when every fan that not named me, because I've never really subscribed to this, but every average fan out there said, how'd you bring back the same offensive line? How'd you bring back the same offensive line? Well, we like our offensive line, right? We like what the guys who are in that room. We think that, they had an okay year last year. We can coach them up. Well, you're going to do that. And quite literally, James Robinson was running against 9 and 10 men in the box all last year. And that offensive line helped him get to 1,200 yards. And you come out this freaking season and he's got 22 touches, guys.
Especially the situation for the Denver game, he could have been running the entire game. It's not like the game was out of hand where you couldn't run the ball.
No, it's unacceptable. And I saw several people, I think Dilla said something about it. The homie Pat Drinks. Shout out Pat, even though you don't listen to the podcast, you son of a bitch. Pat had a good tweet. It's like, look, I don't want anybody to tell Trevor to stop throwing the ball down the field, because he's figuring out what windows work, what he can do and what he can't do. And that's fine. Like, I subscribe to that too. Like, don't, because I don't think that he has the type of psyche that it's going to affect him too much. Right. Like, I hope I'm hopeful, and I think we all are, that he's going to do that. And he's going to learn by, trial by fire. That's how he's learning right now. And I'm fine with that, but give him some help, man. Like, they're playing freaking too high the whole time. Run the football.
That's what I was gonna say. I mean, they don't even got safeties in the box, man. We won't run James Robinson. I don't understand.
A couple of times he made the cuts that Leonard never made. In that game, Dylan and I are sitting there. We're like, okay. They're like, thank you. Give him the freaking ball. He sees a hole as it opens up. Boom. He hits it. He goes. Carlos Hyde's running right up AJ Cann's ass. It's like, get him out of the game. Get James Robinson in the game. Take some pressure off of Trevor. Take some pressure off of those receivers who aren't winning.
Yeah, bring someone down in the box and then let them go run.
Right.
And then let Trevor drop the dimes.
I can't. I don't know. So that's where, yes, do they look better from week to week? Do I have hope that in 3 weeks they'll continue to evolve and the team overall will get better and some of these young guys will continue to get better? Yes. Do I think it's going to be up and down? Yes, absolutely. Hopefully we have a few ups.
Hopefully this is the down though. I don't want this to be the
I don't know, but the end of this, the second half of the schedule gets tough too. So that's a whole nother part of it. But that's it. Had James Robinson been running the ball fairly well and Trevor was making some mistakes and the defense wasn't stopping people consistently, and we're 0-2. But we didn't have too many complaints about the scheme and the play calling, then that's one thing. But right now it's, it's very, very easy to point to what the weakest link in the room is right now. So I don't know. That's kind of my take on the situation. And also free Cisco, hashtag free Cisco, like the thong song, free him.
Who's already improved all the way to the pinnacle of their abilities?
Not Barrell Devell.
Our guy Jag Bag.
Boom.
He's literally driving around. He's at AEW in New York City right now. Is that where he is?
Yep.
Driving around professional wrestlers all day.
Mm-hmm.
Bro,
And
I'm
you
in a
can
couple
take
of
a
group
ride.
chats.
Huh?
I was gonna say, I'm in a couple of group chats with Boz. This dude literally just be hanging out with wrestlers, slamming pizzas, like just having the time of his life. That's the guy right there.
So you might be sitting at home or in your car as you're listening to this esteemed podcast, and you might be saying, if Boz is the chauffeur to the wrestling universe, how does he have time to take care of my transportation needs? And I'm here to tell you, again, Boz is not the guy when you're at the Ritz on a Friday night and you need a ride home. That's not, he's not Uber. He's not Gator City Taxi, but he is the guy who can help you solve your transportation needs, right? We're talking transportation for important moments, right? Big date night for you and the wife, for you and the lady. Want to impress her, get a car for the night. Boz is the guy, right? Your wedding, you need a limo, you need a party bus, something like that. Boz is the guy. He knows people. He's got access to stuff. He himself and his company has access to vehicles. So that's, folks, like, we can't reiterate enough. He's the guy who you get a car service for you and the girl for the night, and you're going to show up and you're not even going to tell him, hey, can you have a bottle of champagne on ice, or a bottle of vodka and some mixers in there for us? He's already going to have it.
He's going to think of the shit that your dumbass is going to forget about.
Right. So again, I think when we first started kind of plugging him, it was like, hey, call Boz for like whatever you need. But it's not. It's call Boz for those special occasions, when you really, really need to make sure that the transportation is on point.
Maybe it's like a night out at the Gold Club with the fellas, right?
Or Trevor's in Houston.
In Houston.
Trevor's, whatever that place was called. Shout out to my man Frank the Tank, having a hell of a memorable weekend at Trevor's. So anyway, Sal, you got the digits for Boz if anybody wants to reach out to him?
Oh yes, our man is at 904-887-0763. If you're a Twitter fan, you reach out to him on Twitter too. It's Jag Bag.
Yep.
Y'all know where he's at. He's the guy that's tweeting pictures with all the wrestlers that everybody loves or whatever. I don't understand that shit.
Yeah, I'm not a big wrestling guy either.
We're the only 3 people in the fucking city that aren't watching that shit right now.
Is that true? Is that a big fact?
Seems like it.
It's probably true. Yeah,
Probably true.
Everybody loves that shit.
Very popular. Well, at least the cons have one sporting endeavor that's successful.
Maybe we need to become diehard wrestling fans.
Because it's the only one they can control front to back.
Yeah.
We should just change this into a AEW podcast, probably with fucking take off.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm at the point though, for real, like, Shad should just completely step out of the way and let Tony run shit. Like,
yeah.
I mean, let's
Teddy would have been playing for the Jags this past Sunday.
Let's make this the AEW of the NFL. I'm in. Like, how much worse could it get? Like,
let's do it.
Let's go.
I'm super about it. Let's try something different.
Yep. Let's get weird.
Yeah, and I've got access to his DMs for life, so let's get weird.
There you go. Noted big fan of the podcast, Tony Khan. Thanks for the click, Tony. We appreciate it weekly. What else we got, Solly? What are we talking about here? Other than Barrell, I'm trying to see the list behind you, and I had to get that off my chest. So again, there's only a few people in the history of this esteemed podcast that have lost their name completely, and that's a tough hole to crawl out of. But
most of them don't get it back. We haven't really given back very many.
But I don't want to give the. I don't want to give off the appearance or I don't want people to think that I'm rooting against Barrell, because I'm not. Like, Barrell, if you're listening to this, I want you to not suck. In fact,
big time, bad.
I want you to be good, Barrell.
I want you to fucking stunt on the NFL, dude.
Yeah, I want nothing more than for you to get your name back, Barrell. So it's up to you at this point. We're on to Arizona.
We're on to Lambo. We skipped Lambo.
Oh, okay. I don't know what Dilly's doing. It's tremendous radio.
Taking a picture of something.
So
Taking a picture of Joe.
Lambo.
Joe Mama.
Angie daddy.
Yeah. Since we're talking about ants, how's what's Aunt up in Minnesota or Wisconsin? What's her name?
Jackie.
Aunt Jackie. Shout out Aunt Jackie. I miss you. Tell her I said hello. What a dame. So one Joshua Kyle Lambo.
Kyle is such a great middle name.
Well, it's his initials are JK because it's kind of been a joke lately. So
every time you say it, and the field goal is good. JK.
It's not, bro. That first one wasn't even in the same galaxy.
He didn't even follow it with his head. He hit it and immediately put his head between his knees.
I mean, that looked like. Remember, are y'all old enough to remember Chuck Knobloch played second base? Well, yeah, for the Twins. I mean, you knew him as a Twins guy, but when he got the yips,
he was good for the Yankees, though.
But he got the yips. You remember, like towards the end of his career, and he couldn't throw the ball.
The only thing I remember about him is he had the craziest batting stance.
Yeah,
he did have a crazy batting stance. How about one time I was at a Twins game, and I think he was playing in the outfield at this point, and he like went up, fielded a ground ball, and went to throw it in, and like let go of the ball behind his head.
Yeah,
and it just dropped like he couldn't throw.
Yeah, so he had the yips, or once you have them, you pretty much have them.
Yeah. You have them until you don't.
I think that's what Lambo has right now.
Yeah.
It's quite obvious, right? Like, I mean, when things were affecting him maybe a little bit last year or the year before, it was like, okay, you chalk it up to some injury, right? You got a groin injury because my man's been fucking too much, right? Like, let's be real. That's how he got the fucked up groin. And so you can chalk it up to that. But right now, I mean, my guy has, I don't know, what do you call the yips in football? I don't know. Is it just the yips? Is it
it's the yips and everything? It's just the yips.
I mean, so I think that's what he's got. And I found it interesting with Urban. Urban's credit to Urban, I guess, with this is Lambo's getting every bit of support that 100%. Like, I mean, I think a lot of other coaches maybe would have already been bringing people in, right?
Or would have been like waffling a little bit too, like when he's asked about it.
And that is some of the most matter of fact and honest and straightforward answers that Urban's given in the last month or two when he's been asked about Lambo. And it's like, so publicly he is. Obviously, privately, they're not bringing anybody else in right now at this point. So, I mean, Lambo is going to get every single opportunity right now that he maybe doesn't get at, half of the other teams in the NFL. So, but I don't know if you guys heard it. Urban mentioned one thing about, they said, well, have you been kind of going, you're the special teams guy. Have you been over there watching him work? Like, have you been close, watching the ball off his foot in practice? And like, basically like, have you been really, and Urban's like, well, I like to do that, but Josh doesn't like that.
Yeah, I did hear that.
And he kind of says, he's like, so he's not big on that. He doesn't like that. So I've tried to give him his space. And I'm just thinking to myself, bro, if you're that broken, like if you can't deal, like, how are you going to deal with the mental pressure walking out into the field, trying to hit a 50 something yarder with a crowd and, your team counting on you? If you can't deal with the coach standing there close to you during practice, like we got issues. And so that's
this week. I'm booing. I haven't done it yet. I'll do it.
Yeah. I mean, I feel like it's pretty common knowledge now, like that people are sort of connecting the dots, and maybe that's a little unfair. But his home life hasn't been, allegedly, right, hasn't been very, has kind of been turned upside down is what a lot of people are putting together.
I heard they named a burrito after him at Moe's.
Did they?
Yeah, the home record.
Oh boy.
Thanks.
Yeah, I mean, I'll put it this way. When your profession is so fragile. And when your mental state is so important, like, I gotta question your judgment. Like, the word miss to a kicker is like
The worst.
never
The
want to
worst. The worst
So
word.
if you're running around with a bunch of mistresses, that's too close. There's mistress, like, no, like, I feel like you gotta put that shit away until your playing career is done. Like, you can't look, maybe a left tackle, same thing. You don't want to whiff, like, you don't want to miss, like, maybe you don't want to do it. A running back, excuse me, a running back, absolutely. You want everybody to miss you. Have all the mistresses you want, right? Like, have all the, like, it's that's all I'm going to say on the subject. You know, and the shitty thing is everybody knowing that and kind of assuming that and putting two and two together, which maybe isn't fair. I don't know. But everybody doing that, I feel like everybody went from really loving Josh Lambo. If we didn't all know about the personal shit he has going on, everybody right now would probably be down. They'd be like, damn,
So I
man,
feel
like,
bad for
Lambo's
him.
our guy. Like, God, he's got to come out of this. Whereas, like, right now, I feel like most people are like, yo, he keeps missing. We're booing his ass. Like, it's
Yeah.
done. Like, you know,
He's just a rec sports car to me at this point.
yeah, like, you know, trash on the field, trash off. Like, I mean, like, there ain't no sympathy around these parts. Like, and that's, you know, he's going to be getting the Philly treatment pretty soon. So I don't know, Dilly, do you think it's salvageable, or are you completely like, you're done with him? You written him off?
I'm so done with him that if we could figure out how to get like 50 inflatable scissors to the game and have everybody walk in with them in their pockets and then blow him up after he inevitably misses his first kick, and then just start bouncing him around in the end zone to simulate what's coming, the cut. That's where I'm at with them in life.
I was wondering where you're going with the scissors for a brief second.
Well, if the guy is fucked up mentally and he listens to this podcast, he's totally fucked. He's out. He'll be gone by next week.
He's done. Yeah, it's a shitty feeling because I think everybody, he went from being really beloved to yeah.
Here's my problem with the way people loved Josh Lambo. They kicked Josh Scobie to the curb in the process. They didn't let us love both of them. Everyone made it, well, Josh Lambo's our guy now. And that's really what it comes down to. It just goes to show you, when you have something good, even if that, you know, the time passes, something substantially good. Josh Lambo is kind of like in the Calais Campbell category for me. The longevity is not there, so just get the fuck out of the way. I'm done with you.
Fair. That's fair. Yeah, I wasn't aware that we had completely thrown Josh Scobie away, but
well, no, it's Josh Scobie's like personality on Twitter has gotten him back in, but after he went to the Steelers and had that whole like thing happen, a lot of people were like, well, we got a new kicker now anyway. And I was like, you guys want to do this? Like, we really want to do this?
Let's be real. There's only room for one Josh.
True.
So, I mean, may the best Josh win. That's it. Sally, what else we got?
So how bad do we need a win?
We don't.
To be.
How bad do the players in the locker room need to win? How bad does the coach need to win?
The coaches need to win much more than the players even need to win.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Marijuana.
How likely is it that we're getting a win?
This week, minimum.
Yeah. So what's exactly what the doctor ordered after that? Is a short week and a trip to Cincy? Is that it?
That's the way to do it. A short week against a terrible team. When you think about the Jaguars and everything we've said about the way their coaches don't know how to, you know, take care of stuff, especially on the offensive side of the ball, the most perfect coach we could be going against is Cincinnati's offensive-minded head coach, who's literally terrible. So
We're
already on to Cincinnati.
I said, bro. I mean, to be fair, I tweeted that on Sunday after that game. Like, I don't. I'd be shocked if we win Sunday. It's not because I don't think it's impossible.
Yeah,
I think I think we'll have a lead at least 2 times. We're gonna like get a lead, lose the lead, and then get a lead again.
We could look even better than we did last week and still get blown out of this game because that offense is ridiculous.
This is how we stop them, though. We hurt their quarterback. That's the only way we can win.
Yeah.
If you can touch them.
Yeah.
Oh, we can touch them.
Oh,
I will say, like
Sounds
he'll get out of pockets when he doesn't need to. He'll start doing some kind of crazy shit. Usually it works out for him.
Last week too.
Usually it works out for him, but he does exit pockets early. You know, the line is not the greatest in the world. He's just fucking magical.
Yeah, I just don't think we got the horses on the outside to run with the guys they got. I mean, especially if
the receivers are scary, dude.
Well, I mean, if you're talking CJ's hurt, you know, if he's hurt and then I
think them having Rondo more on top of what they already have is like he's just ridiculous.
Track team.
He looks just like the same player he was at Purdue with good players around him.
We should have taken him.
I was leading that train. I was told by a lot of people that I was an idiot and that we should take Kadarius Toney, who has negative 4 yards.
Get out of here. Yeah. I would have taken him. I'm pretty sure I was on the record around that time saying that I would have taken him over ETN as well.
For sure.
But you know, I guess that's neither here nor there.
What's done is done.
What is done is done.
Shaka cock. Sean Connery.
Go fuck yourself, Trebek. We have devolved here. So I don't know. I mean, I'm going into Sunday. I think it's, you know, hopefully we got some decent weather out there. It's we have some good fellowship out at the tailgate, and
my dad's coming through.
Yeah, we got Papa Dillard's coming through. You know, we'll just have a good communal time. And yeah, whatever happens with that game happens. If we get behind big early, your boy is leaving. I'm going straight to Monkey's uncle. I'm gonna have me a couple of mango Gatorades and a big plate of wings. And I'm gonna watch the rest of the games. Yep, I'm gonna watch the rest of the games on the big screen there. If we're in the game and it's exciting and fun, even better. I'll be there, not eating the concession food and probably drinking really overpriced beers, but you know,
and just eating the shit out of Skittles.
Either way, double fisting, just double fisting Skittles like my name is Marshawn Lynch. But yeah, anyway, so on to Cincinnati. We got to figure out what we're gonna do for the pod next week for folks, because Dilla and I are traveling up to Cincy. And we're gonna bring home the W, man.
Me and Dillard are gonna leave late Wednesday, and we'll be there early morning Thursday.
Just fly up Thursday.
That's our plan. No, we're gonna road trip it.
Oh, you're right. You're cruising.
Road tripping it. Yeah.
Love it. You should call Boz. Boz will drive you up.
Yeah.
I'm not committing 22 hours in a car to the Jaguars. I refuse.
Hey,
but the good thing is you get to get the shitty part out of the way first, and then you enjoy your weekend.
Plane tickets aren't too bad right now, boys. I'm just throwing that out there. They're not too bad. I just bought mine on Monday or Tuesday.
I'll go. If someone on the internet wants to sponsor my trip, I'll go. I'm not going otherwise.
So if somebody wants to sponsor Dilly, hop in the DMs.
Assuming that he successfully moves himself next week, which he has to do.
Yeah.
Dilla.
He has to move between now and then. Also.
I want a commitment. Right now. Hand to God.
Mm-hmm.
I want a commitment.
Oh God, this is not good.
What are you talking about? It's great. The fuck are you talking about? Let me finish. If the Jaguars win Sunday, and then we get you help moving early next week, are you committing right now that you will go to Cincinnati?
Sure.
What?
I said sure.
Is that a yes?
If they win and I get help moving.
Boom. You heard it here, folks. You heard it here. Eric Dillard is going to be in Cincinnati when the Jaguars turn it around to 2-2 on the season.
Oh shit! Did you see this?
What?
Kyler Murray's going to be out. He's on the COVID list.
No way. I was gonna say I fucking give up. I hate this team so much.
Who's their backup? Because it probably won't matter.
It's probably like Case Keenum or something.
Kurt Warner.
Fucking kill us anyway.
Kurt Warner. Kurt Keenum. All right. Well, that's exciting, man. Might have my pal Dillard there. And yeah, that's good. And now I got even more incentive to root for a big win on Sunday. I love it. Going
Sorry,
in.
Lil Uzi Vert's at AEW hanging out with Boz.
Oh my God, look at this guy.
It's so wild. He's right there.
Craziness.
Yep.
All right. What else we got?
We've got to read a little advertisement.
Sounds like a good time.
We've got to advertise the #1 sliding glass door and window repair shop in North Florida. Not even #1, A1. The A1 sliding glass door. And
Ooh, that's
window
big.
repair
Anytime
shop.
you got an A and a 1 in your, yep,
Sheesh.
guaranteed top of the line shit.
Call up our boys 386-538-6835. Get you a free estimate. It's I mean, I'm not an expert on this type of thing, but I think it's pretty cheap to make your sliding glass door like work really well. One of those like minor, you think it's a minor inconvenience until you get it, and then all of a sudden it's like, holy fuck, how did I live before I had this easy ass door that actually opens the right way?
Well, and I'll tell you too, like I called up Tony at the old spot and I was like, look, I've got this issue with my sliding glass door and I want to get it fixed. And he's like, all right, we'll send somebody out. We'll check it out. The moral of this story is like, you want to do business with good people who are going to be honest with you and who are going to shoot straight and, you know, they're going to do right by you. And that's exactly what the team at A1 did with my last sliding glass door, because they could have very much come out and said, oh yeah, we'll fix it for X amount. And then really probably not fixed my problem. They could have done a fix. And so that's what, you know, Tony sat down, like he told me, he's like, hey, Cap, here's the deal. We can fix it and it'll work better. But for, I think it was a couple $100 more essentially, plus labor, I could replace the whole thing. And so it was like, he gave me options, which I respected that. And so that's the kind of people you're getting. Like I don't know about you guys out there that are listening to this. Like when I'm talking, especially something for my home, when I'm trying to find a vendor or a company to come work on my home, that's what I'm looking for, right? I'm looking for somebody who's just going to shoot straight and who's going to give me those options and who's going to keep it real with me. And that's exactly what the team over at A1 does.
Not somebody who's going to show up with like a fucking vape pen and like look at your shit and say, oh yeah, we'll send you an estimate and just walk fucking out. Somebody who like will talk to you.
Is
a little bit.
You confused me for a second. I was like, is JB doing sliding glass doors now?
No, JB's a dummy. He hired someone to like change out all of his outlets and everything.
Like to change out the outlets or the plates?
And light switches, bro.
Okay.
All of it.
Beautiful.
Twisting 3 screws and dropping a hot and neutral wire and a ground in there. Tough stuff.
Well, especially when it's already there, like it's already mapped out for you.
You literally just do what's already done.
You literally undo and redo.
Take that one off and put this one on.
Click the breaker box over, my guy. Come on.
Oh my goodness. We need to sponsor JB.
But hit up, I was about to say, fuck talking about JB, but hit up a1sliders.com.
We're still in the read. Sorry. I thought we were done.
They do work from New Smyrna to Jax. And again, the number's 386-538-6835. Free estimates on your shitty sliding glass door that you need to probably replace.
But that's true. Like when Tony reached out to sponsor us, a couple of years ago now, right? I mean, yeah. What's funny about it was I was like, oh, because you think about everything for your house. You don't necessarily read about or see commercials on TV for the people who come out and fix your shitty sliding glass door.
Yeah, but everyone's sliding glass door sucks dick.
Yeah, unless you got like a brand new house, which even then, if it's builder grade, it probably sucks too. So
yeah,
yep, big facts. Call up A1 sliders and windows and doors. Oh my,
roofs.
Roofs. Dylan, by the way, big flex. Sorry, Solly. Just ladies, I don't know if you're looking, but if you're watching this online, look over my man Dilla's left shoulder there. He's big into the nitro tech. Like my man is, he is, he's just carb loading right now, and just his macros are through the roof. My guy is just like, how much are you deadlifting right now, man? Like
at least like 6'10".
6'10". Like he's just wild. This guy just throwing the plates around all day long.
He could deadlift my fucking pool table. I've seen him do it.
It's true.
My goodness, ladies, that's a man who can, you want to be treated like a real woman, with a man who's just gonna manhandle you. Call up my man Eric Dillard right here.
Is this a new ad? Is he sponsoring us?
He's on the Nitro Tech. He's on the Nitro Tech.
Are we sponsored by Nitro Tech now?
You
Oh
can
my
call Eric
goodness.
Dillard at 904-3.
Put your number out there, Dilly.
Yeah, right. I don't need it no more.
Oh, my man Dilly's off the market.
He said his DMs are open though.
Always.
It's true.
Always.
It's true. It's true.
Always. All right. Yeah, it was good. I'll say this too before I think we got a Jag Bag, right? Before we get into that. It was good to see see everybody at the home opener.
Facts.
At the
That was
tailgate.
my favorite part.
Yeah,
You know,
I'm
for
sad
sure.
that I missed like the out of town people that came in. A lot of out of town people always come in for the home opener, so that's the part that I was really upset about.
And we got to make our guy Joe D from Misery. We gotta make his week again. He told me he was like literally
Same.
driving to the airport to hop the flight to Jack's, and had the podcast on, and we started talking about him. And his wife's like, "Are they talking about you?" You know, like so we kind of made his trip, or at least his drive to the airport, I should say. So shout out Joe. It's good to see him. Joe, again, I think we mentioned this last week. Joe went from Houston, or went from his home in Misery, and went to Houston, and then back home, and then hopped the flight the following weekend to come to Jack's to the home opener, because he's got season tickets, which is just crazy, man. I mean, when I think about how down I am about the time and energy invested, I'm like, man, there's people like that. It's crazy. And then shout out Colton, Big Dog Colton, which when he first started coming around the tailgates was like, JB size. And now
He's
my dude,
yoked.
speaking of the Nitro Tech, he must fucking have that IV. Like, I mean, my
Fucking
guy
inhales that shit.
my guy like was tweeted a photo after the game, because I guess he hopped a flight right back to Denver, or back to Colorado right after the game. He's with Tony Bevell, and he made freaking Tony look small in the photo. I was like, damn, Colton. But yeah, good to see him.
Colton's a real one. His girl that he's with is like a Broncos cheerleader, and he had her in like an MJD jersey in the stadium.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
that's real shit. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, that's legit. So good. Yeah. Countless others that we got to see. The Duval Derby was very successful. The Duval Derby was everything that it was billed to be. So
Were people supposed to be galloping up and down on those things?
Oh, there was a moment. I think you
Like
got to go.
fucking
Shout out to Dunn and Drew, friends of the podcast. Great content creators. Eric Dunn, everybody knows that already. But he's got a really good video from the Duval Derby. If you haven't checked it out, it's pretty great, because you hear Pat, who was kind of the MC of the event. When we got to the finals, Pat turns around and says, "And gallop. I better see you gallop." He's like, "You better gallop, bitches." None of this running shit,
Yeah.
So it was pretty great. No, everybody was great sports. And yeah, I believe the guy's name who won it on Twitter, he's like, his handle is like rhymes with pickle, because his last name is Bickle. So yeah.
So he's a real person. That's
Very
what's up.
clever. I like
Yeah.
it.
That's that guy. Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah, it's that guy. Yeah. So he ended up winning it. And dude, it was okay. For those of you who haven't seen it, very quickly, we were infiltrated. Okay, so one of the followers on Twitter was in town, I think from Colorado as well, or somewhere out there.
Green
And
Bay.
was it Green Bay?
The dude with the Broncos boys?
Yes.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they live in Green Bay. Josh,
That's right. They
they're
live in
cool.
Green Bay. Yep.
Yep.
Yep. And so he hits me up. He's like, "Hey, my boy Drywall wants to do the event." I'm like, "Fuck, anybody named Drywall is automatically in. Like you're in. Like I don't know.
That's an elite ass nickname, Drywall.
I mean, everybody who is trying to get into it, they're DMing me and I'm asking, like, all right, I'm telling them the rundown, like, be at the BCB 10 at 11. I need your first and last name so I can put it on the list because I'm keeping a list. We can only have 8 people, blah, blah, blah. And this guy's like, my boy Drywall. And I'm like, I just wrote down Drywall. I didn't ask his fucking name. I'm like,
I don't want to know anything else.
That'll be he's going to walk up and be like, I'm blah, 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 blah. I'm like, oh, dude, I don't have you. I'm Drywall. Oh, okay. Yeah. Drywall. You're in. Come on, bro. You're in the first heat. Drywall. You're in the first heat.
Drywall. You're actually the betting favorite in Vegas too. My God.
They fucking failed though. They failed to mention that he was a Broncos fan. So it was just, it threw me off for a second. I'm like, oh man. All right. And then my guy basically blew away the competition in his heat. And I'm like, fuck, Drywall is athletic. No, Drywall is built for this. My man Drywall was built for it. Like he slammed that beer like it was no, and then the dizzy bat thing we did. I mean, it didn't even phase him, like, because he's been training at altitude and shit, right? He's a Denver fan. Like I'm just like, he was ready. Drywall was built for this. He was like a thoroughbred. And we got to the final, and I'm like, we can't have a fucking Broncos fan win the inaugural first ever Duval Derby. And luckily, our guy, Pickle, is what I'll call him.
Pickle
Took it home. Dude, he took it home. And I mean, it was him and friend of the program, John Michael Begot, like John Michael and him. And, John, who is of illustrious fame, who won the first ever and only ever Mayo belly flop contest.
I'm so upset he's not a repeat champion.
He was a little down. He seemed upset, but I was proud of them both because that meant that the Broncos got in win. Like either one of them could have won. I would have been happy. Because anyway.
The pictures of John Michael are absolutely illustrious pictures.
They're fantastic.
God.
And then you pair that with Dunn's video of the whole thing. So if you haven't seen it, go check out the BCB Facebook has a bunch of photos.
Shout out to Dustin because he captured some magical images of our boy John. My goodness. I want to put John as my fucking avatar. I want to put him as my header photo. I want to hang up pictures of him here in my garage. I mean, he's just, my God.
Wow. Big, you're the freaking president of the fan club. I did not know that.
My God.
Yeah, so anyway, that's the kind of fun stuff, guys, we try and do. It's just, get creative, at least for the home opener every year. And unfortunately, it's what we've had to do. we gotta entertain ourselves and come up with cool stuff.
We should do what we should do for this week. It'd be kind of last minute, but we can put together like a bird feeding contest with some like sour worms. Like we can pair up, like me and Dillard could be a team, and we have to like try to get as many worms.
Successfully. I'm gonna chew him up and put him in Solly's mouth.
Yeah, you gotta like drop.
And then he has to eat him
like a mama bird.
Yeah.
From a certain height, and Dillard has to catch it.
Like ooey gooey delivery style.
Wow, I don't know.
Probably not good for COVID reasons, but
yeah, I'm getting mental pictures that I just don't really want. Yeah.
Next time, once we get through this pandemic, we'll do it. Next time the cards are in town.
For sure. Okay. Well, that's a great segue into the Jag Bag.
Actually, we have some breaking news before the Jag Bag that's actually gonna segue perfectly into our final ad.
Breaking news.
If Dillard is not in Cincinnati, we do plan on taking in the Thursday night game at Perfect Rack.
Yes, me and Solly will be at Perfect Rack.
Idyllical and I will
Thursday for the Thursday night football game.
And so the Perfect Rack apparently has, if this is still in effect, this is what I was told last year when we picked them up as a sponsor, that they have $2 select drafts on Thursdays.
Ooh, double down on a game.
So we got $2 drafts I'm probably going to get in trouble for this, but $2 drafts and free shots whenever the Jags score. I mean, think about it.
I love. Guess what? Guess what? Perfect rack. If you didn't before, you do now. $2
drafts on Thursdays. So we're gonna drink a whole shit ton of $2 drafts, right?
Yep.
And we're gonna get free shots on a school night. So
yeah, 1186 Edgewood Avenue. Come hang out with your boys. We'll be there. We'll be getting naughty. Cap will be in Cincy holding it down.
Well, if Dilla's not in Cincy with me, but so correct me if I'm wrong, Solly. People who haven't been to Perfect Rack or haven't been there for a game, plenty of TVs, right? 8 TVs?
14
TVs, excuse
14
me.
14
TVs.
14 TVs. And then inevitably, when the game gets bad, they've got 8 fantastic pool tables that you could transition to.
Boom.
So you're good.
Boom. Yeah, the wings are the best in town. Cap still hasn't come over to verify if that's true or not. So therefore, there. I'm going to keep saying they are. They're the best wings in town.
I mean,
I'm ready to smash it. I'm ready to smash them.
Yeah, I'm getting a plate
right now. Yeah,
I'm getting a plate. And then this year they're also hosting the 5th quarter on 1010 after the games. So they've got I guess it's Hacker and they've got Leon over there after the games.
Yeah.
So if you guys want to go up and chill, you know, if you're not at games or for away games, that's the spot.
Yeah, for sure. If you want to go hang out with Hacker and sorry.
I don't think you have to hang out with him. Actually, I think he's doing
okay. Good.
Spot.
Good,
yeah.
good.
You can just go to the bar.
You get some wings. You go get some wings.
Yeah.
I haven't been there yet, but everything I've heard of, not even from you two, from everybody else, literally in passing, people that have no idea we're at all associated with Perfect Rack say it's fire.
Yeah.
Which is about like the best, review you can get. People who don't know telling you that it's elite.
For sure.
Bada bing.
Bada boom.
Next week, I'll give you my own review. Well, I guess 2 weeks out because it'll be after, but you know what I'm saying. I'm just
we'll be spreading the content from the Perfect Rack on Thursday unless the Cardinals win or unless we beat the Cardinals and somebody moves Dillard's things from his old house to his new house.
Beautiful. I'm in.
Jag Bag time.
Jag Bag.
Jag Bag.
Jag Bag.
We need somebody if anybody wants to make like a Jag Bag theme music, that'd be cool. If not, whatever, we'll keep doing this. Jag Bag.
There's some cool bro named Just Kelly who follows me on Instagram and Twitter. He's an incredibly talented musician, and I think he listens to this, so this might be your call.
Yeah, or we should get homie the producer to produce us. Like,
oh, that'd be fire. Taz Taylor, Internet Money. Shout out to them for coming hanging out in Houston. Real ones.
We should get him to put us something together. Maybe get Travis Scott. I don't know. Travis might be a little busy, but get one of those guys to.
It's lit.
At the night show.
It's the Jag Bag.
All right, Jag Bag number 1.
What do we got?
Speaking of our boy John Michael, by the way, his avatar is one of those illustrious photos that Dustin took on Sunday. His question is: more drops last Sunday, the Jacksonville Jaguars wide receivers, or ounces lost on me chugging the one beer during the Duval Derby?
Yeah, I'm gonna have to go with you, John. That was a pretty poor attempt.
Sloppy ass, John.
They all were. I mean, by and large, like these dudes were just pouring the beer down their
shirts,
down their chin and their shirts. Yeah, I'm like, this is not what we envisioned here, folks. So yeah, I'll ride with Dilly on that one. It was, and I get it, right? Like you're trying to, when the guy next to you is just straight pouring the beer down his chest and not actually chugging it. Yeah, you got to keep up. So I get it. I'm not
you ain't cheating, you ain't trying.
I was really shocked at how few people seemed to be affected by the spinning around. Like these people spun around 10 times and then just fucking ran. How did they do that shit?
Well, a couple of them, like the gal we had, which she was awesome. Shout out to her for being the only female to step up and compete in it. But in her heat, she ran right into the back of Pat. Like Pat was, because she was like, you see her start going like this.
Yeah.
And Pat was facing down towards the other guys who were already running. So yeah, there was a couple of moments where people definitely
I expected to see a lot more shit eating in the video.
yeah.
Next one is from @RealWill. Says, seems like the Jags are in a similar situation to the Cardinals in 2019. Number 1 overall pick, rookie quarterback, first time NFL head coach. Do you see us having similar success in a 3-year time frame? So this kind of goes along with our taking the long view here.
I don't know. I think there's like, in terms of like being good in 3 years, I think there's a better chance that we have a new coach in 3 years than we're good in 3 years. So I don't really think that that's like necessarily positive, but you'll be happy in 3 years because it'll be another restart that they'll be selling you as a rebuild, but it won't be a rebuild. It'll be a build. And you know how it goes. It'll be the same bullshit they've been telling us for the last 10 years.
So that would be a new head coach after 2 years. That's what you're thinking? Like second off season.
That seems realistic.
Okay.
Worse than Mike Mularkey.
I don't know. I can see why you want to try and make that comparison, but their first time head coach, or NFL wise, he comes with a little bit more of like a pedigree on the offensive side of the ball. So like he very much has brought and put his mark on that. Whereas again, I think Urban's more of that CEO coach. So I think we have differences there. The interesting thing will be, so if you want to draw some parallels potentially, is how do we go out and spend all the money we have in year 2 or year 3 of Trevor? Because they, in year 2 of Kyler, or was it year 1? They went and got DeAndre.
2 last year.
It was last year, right? So that was like midway through the second year.
So they go out and they pull that trigger on getting DeAndre, and then this past off season they go and they add some older veteran people, and they're paying those guys. So that to me is the more interesting potential parallel, is how we handle year 2 and year 3 from a roster building standpoint, if that makes sense. Then it is necessarily like, is the coach any good or whatever?
Yeah. Next up from Jackson Phil. If Barrell Devell was an appliance, what appliance would he be? #Jag Bag. And I will say that BCB Couch replied, and he put an electric washing machine that looks like it's from like the 1940s or something, maybe.
Yeah. He'd be a broken air conditioner, right? Because he doesn't run, right? My man doesn't run, and all he wants to do is air it out, but he can't.
He's not doing it right. Damn,
yeah, so that's what. There you go.
And I was gonna say he's one of those lawnmowers that have the lithium rechargeable like drill batteries that go in it, where you can only you can only mow like 100 square feet at a time.
You do like 3 rows and it runs out. You got to plug it back in.
After that first drive, you got to take it back into the week off and get to working.
If we're going with lawn equipment, to me, he's that $40 Black & Decker like
lawnmower blade.
No, the weed eater that like you got to plug in, but like it's kind of a cross between like a toddler's toy and like a real actual piece of yard equipment.
If you spin the head, it's also your edger.
Yes, exactly. Yep. You never have string because it's always like falling out or
it's supposed to unravel by itself, but it never does. So you're sitting there. Yeah, the first couple times you unplug it to play it safe, but
just
after
tap.
that you're like, fuck it.
You just gotta tap it. You gotta tap it and it releases.
Yeah,
no,
you like slam it and nothing's coming out.
That's great, because that's a great metaphor for me slamming my head against the wall when I watch Barrell Devell call a game with no runs.
Love it.
Anyway,
he's really regular because he's got no runs.
Pretty good. It's pretty good.
Next up is our boy Cat City J. He says #Jag Bag, spaghetti and chili. Thoughts?
No, I will not.
What
okay. Let's go on the let's go on the record. I am not going to Skyline. I'm going to Cincinnati, and I'm going to drink all of their great alcohol because I've seen many places that have caught my eye from brewery perspectives and bourbon establishments. Cocktails, yes. So I'm going there, and then I have found many places from a food perspective that have also piqued my interest. Not a single one of them has involved or will involve me going and desecrating a plate of spaghetti with some diarrhea on top of it. I will not do it. I'm not eating Skyline chili. I'm not.
I support you fully.
I don't want to sound dramatic, but if my wife decides that she wants to go eat some Skyline chili, then we're getting divorced. I don't want to sound dramatic, but no, I have zero desire. I don't call me weird or whatever. I have zero desire to go up there and eat that.
I'm with you. If I was going, same. No way I'm having that shit.
No, well, because if you ate that shit, then that's all you'd be doing the rest of the time you're there is just shitting.
Yeah.
That sounds terrible.
Next up, we got from our boy Amelia Wizard. Visualization is a great tool for athletes. Poor Lambo has been psyched out. What should he visualize as he prepares to kick field goals? Hashtag Jag Bag.
Definitely not his ex-wife.
I mean, look, he's got to move past it. So he needs to visualize his new life. You know, I mean, look, you made a mistake. You're not the first guy. You're not going to be the last guy. Right. So I'm speaking right to you right now, Josh. You've got to let yourself move on.
What's the way forward? It's always about the way forward.
That's it. You know, sometimes we get knocked down. Sometimes we knock ourselves down. Right. And then
I get knocked down and I get up again.
Right. I mean, the famous poets, I believe that was Aristotle, I think, who said that. I get knocked down.
That was Socrates.
But yeah, Josh, you just gotta. So Josh, I would say just envision the life that you want to have now. You can't go back. You can never go back to before you made the mistake. You can't do it.
It's impossible. The toothpaste cannot be put back in the tube.
It can't. You gotta accept the fact that you made a mistake, and you can't let it define you for the rest of your life, man. And I think here's the problem. I am shocked by how supportive Urban Meyer has been. And I don't think that Josh Lambo is in the headspace to even appreciate that. Like, the right person in the right headspace who's ready to make a change, who's ready to kind of get over that hump, that kind of support is something that would motivate you. I look at that dude and his body language and his mannerisms. He's donezo, bro. He's donezo.
It really kind of made me sad when, first of all, Dewey was like pushing his chin back up or whatever. That was super cringy. But the fact that he like put his chin back up, and as soon as he took away his hand, his head just went right back down like this.
He's done, bro. He's done. Look. He's done. He's done.
Okay, moving on from that one. At JFix88, who is the Jags MVP through 2 games? Who's y'all's MVP?
Us, for watching it.
It was really hard. The reason I put this question in here is I could not think of somebody.
Logan Cook's the only player on the team worth the shit.
Like, Marvin Jones has been decent.
Yeah.
But like,
I mean, Andrew Norwell's been fucking great, by the way.
Yeah. I mean, defensively, like,
no, a bunch of bums.
Yeah.
Nope.
Everyone was so upset we signed that corner from the Raiders today, Nevin something Larson or something
Shapiro,
like that.
Nevin Shapiro,
yeah. And then I looked at his PFF grade from last year and all of our guys this year, and he's our second best corners. I'm like, shut up, you idiots. You don't know nothing.
Yeah.
Next up, our pal, that guy E-Dub.
That guy.
He had a question from 2019 that said, "Dad question: how do you get your kid from drinking her bathwater?" Hashtag Jag Bag. He follows up this week and he says, "This question again, but for my 1-year-old." Hashtag Jag Bag. So I think maybe he forgot.
Yeah, maybe he didn't listen.
How do we keep the 1-year-old from drinking his bathwater?
You don't. You let him drink it until his stomach hurts and he throws up, and then they call that a life lesson, and he doesn't do it again.
You make his ass take a shower.
Yeah. Wash him with the hose, baby.
Sorry, buddy. The bath is broken.
Yeah, you can always stand up now, my guy.
I think we already kind of touched on that. 3 more. At Michael 7 Harris. What's your reaction going to be when Trevor throws for 300 plus yards this week with 3 touchdowns and we still lose by 20?
Oh, at first I was gonna say, "Oh shit, now I gotta go to Cincy," but sounds good to me.
At least it'd be entertaining.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah. I don't know. I'd rather him throw for 240, 2 touchdowns, and James Robinson get 23 carries.
Yeah.
23 carries for 287 yards.
And then you're coming to Cincinnati.
If he does that, yeah, Dillard's going
Big
to
Dick
Cincinnati.
Daddy from Cincinnati.
Yeah.
Then we're going up to Cincy, and guess what? We win Sunday, boys. I don't want to just I'm going to put this out in the universe. If we win Sunday,
here comes the fat L.
I'm afraid of the universe, dude.
If we win Sunday, we are right back in the race for our terrible division, baby.
Yeah,
that's
baby,
right, baby.
We'll
1 and 2,
first,
1 and 2. Make way. The Jaguars are in contention. That's
Kyler
right.
Murray is going to throw for 10 touchdowns on Sunday.
1 and 2.
I will take you up on that offer. You want to bet?
1 and 2.
Yes, I want to bet about my extremely sarcastic statement.
1 and 2. We're going to Cincinnati. We're on to Cincinnati. 2 and 2. Tied for the division lead with the division front runner, the Tennessee Titans coming to town the following week in our house.
And then they're gonna fucking bully us up and down the field.
Mark my words, bro.
Bull City Cap calling 3 and 2.
I haven't called. I'm not calling the Tennessee game, but I'm telling you,
2 and 2.
We win Sunday. We're right back in the division race for this.
He's not calling that Tennessee game, Dillard. Let's not be unrealistic here, okay? 2 and 2.
That's right. That's it, baby.
Next Jag Bag is BCB Couch. Says, since y'all have already had a Dunn and Drew crossover show, when can we expect the Sports Den live combined appearance now that they have their pod freedom? Hashtag Jag Bag.
Shit, sign me up. I'm down there. All dope.
Yeah, we should do it.
For sure.
We've already had Denny on. Denny knows the drill.
No pun intended.
He doesn't know the drill anymore. But yeah, we should do that. That would be fun. I love how James does his charity stuff. I think that's fucking awesome. So it seems like good people too.
Speaking of charity, I'm going to be linking up with Roy Miller again this weekend at Abbas Park Elementary off Abbas Boulevard in 32225. I'm doing a giveaway food drive. So if you guys are in the area or you know people who are in need, send them that way. Starting at 8 o'clock, we'll be running until the food runs out. Roy Miller, Piz Lesney, Jordan Todman, the whole gang again.
Awesome.
Babin and co. Yeah.
And local influencer Eric Dillard.
Boom. And then last but not least, Cole Fartley. It's been a minute, but I think they need us more than ever. Is Solly ready to narrate another video?
Oh, he's about to drop a video?
Hashtag
we really might
Jag
win
Bag.
this week.
Yep.
God, why'd I make that bet?
My only response is, you know it, baby. I'm here for you.
Man,
I'm in.
We're in. Look, the gang's all here, Della. Right? The stars are aligning for a big W this weekend.
It's hard to disagree.
Calling it right now. Calling it.
Give me a score.
Caps lock of the week, 24-23. Jacksonville
Steven Soliday.
Back.
Wow, did you just give them a field goal?
I locked it. 24-23.
24-23, or are you giving them all, or are they just not kicking it all and it's going to be three
touchdowns and
three
2
pointers?
points.
Look, however you got to get there. 25. I got faith in Lambo to hit one small field goal. That's all I'm saying. 24-23. Jacksonville Jaguars back in the race for the division.
Solly, what you got?
I'm gonna go 34-28 Cardinals.
34-28 Cardinals.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go 27-24 Jacksonville Jaguars.
The road to Cincy.
He wants to go. He wants to go.
I'm starting to believe it's in the universe.
My man is here.
The universe don't be messing around.
The Jaguars, ladies and gentlemen, the Jaguars are in this division race.
One thing that our fan base needs to do is understand the power of manifestation. We go into all these games knowing in the back of our head we're going to get blown the fuck out, and guess what happens? We get blown the fuck out. If you want to win, go to that stadium on Sunday and want that fucking W. And if you know what, you'll be surprised what'll happen. I'm the only person who's tweeting positive shit in the second quarter 2 weeks in a row. Get your head out of your ass and want the W and experience what might happen.
Get it like Jameis. Yeah, look, folks. I don't take this kind of thing lightly. I'm locking it.
All right.
Jaguars 24. Arizona Cardinals 23.
Consider it done. It is what
Urban
it is.
Meyer's first win.
I got one last thing to say then.
What's that?
Love you, JB.
Love you, JB.
I love you, JB.